Let's start comfortable. Now I can see Mata. Nice. Thank you. Welcome to our Yin and Yang class. So these classes, they are elemental. We focus on specific, can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, cool. So we focus on specific elements in every class, and today the class that the element that we're going to be focusing on is the metal element of Chinese medicine. Right? This is the element of letting go. If you think about the fall, where the leaves fall from the trees, that's the energy of the metal element. It's the energy of letting go of what doesn't serve us, so that we can make space for what really needs to come our way. All right. The meridian lines, the energy lines that we'll be working with today are two, and they are called lungs and large intestines. Okay, the lung meridian starts from the chest here and goes down to the big thumb, and the large intestine starts on your index finger here in the point, and it goes to the outside through your neck, around your mouth, and into the side of your nose. Very interesting that large intestine is connected also with the nose and with the lungs. All right, so these are going to be our target area of today. So our poses are going to be focusing on these energy channels that feed into the lungs and large intestines, the inside of your arm and the outside of your arm into the chest. All right. These meridians, and they feed into the organs, and the organs in Chinese medicine, they don't have only the physical functions as we know in Western medicine. So the lungs are not just for breathing, let's say. Large intestine is not just for deciding what we keep and what goes. The lungs in Chinese medicine, they're also responsible for processing, with dealing with grief and sadness. And grief is quite an interesting emotion, because I find that grief in our society is accepted with limitations. What do I mean by that? Grief is okay, let's say if you lost someone that you loved, a relative, a friend, someone that you were really close to, and that person died. And then, yeah, we grieve the loss of that person, but also it also comes comes with a time frame, right? After so many years or so many months, people are like, oh, but come on, she needs to move on, needs to get over it, you know? So grief, I feel a lot of sometimes judgment around grief, and we don't allow ourselves to grieve. In my personal journey with grief, it's more recent, in the recent years, when I became a mother, in the last 2 years. Yes, with a child is born, this new mother, but also there's a part of yourself that dies. There's a part of yourself that you have to let go, and that we don't really, as a society, focus on that, right? So who comes up to a new mother and be like, congratulations for your baby, how are you dealing with the grief? And you're like, huh? What grief? Yes, a big part of yourself died in this birth of this new mother. Yeah, so allowing ourselves to grieve, even parts of ourselves that we had to let go, allow ourselves to grieve over anything that we had to let go, opinions, ideas, experiences, and parts of ourselves that we usually don't allow ourselves, sometimes not even to let go of that, and sometimes usually not, we don't allow ourselves to grieve that, we don't honor that. So this class today is dedicated for that. All right, we're going to be working the energy channels that feed into our lungs and large intestines, that run in the upper body. They run in both sides, all right, equally. And we're going to be focusing on letting go, which is beautiful because metal is the element of letting go, and also yin yoga is a practice of letting go. So it's a really powerful letting go practice that we have today. And throughout this time, I also want you to see if you can tap into perhaps a little part of yourself that at some point in your life you had to let go, Or perhaps you're still trying to let go. All right, and allow yourself to grieve this little part of yourself that you had to say goodbye to. All right? So I'll invite everyone to sit in a comfortable seated position. I like to bring a cushion under my hips to lift the hips away from the floor so that my knees can go lower than my hips. Then we're going to close the eyes gently if that's comfortable for you. If that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, you can just soften your gaze down to the ground, leaving the eyes slightly open. And we're just going to give ourselves a few moments to arrive, to land on our mats, on our cushions. And we're going to start to tune into our breaths. Try not to change your breath quite yet. Let's just take a moment to sit with the breath, observing the inhales and the exhales until the very end. Root yourself down through whatever's touching the ground. Bring a lift through the crown of your head up towards the sky to lengthen across your spine. And take a moment to tune in to your intention for this practice. And slowly we're going to start to give a rhythm to our breath. So right now the breath is freely doing whatever it feels like. And we're going to start to introduce slightly gentle control over the breath, counting the same length inhales and exhales. So I want you to start to give yourself a count. It can be up to 3 or to 4 or to 5, depending on how much lung capacity you have and what is comfortable for you. Personally, I usually count up until 3 or 4. So you keep that same count on the inhale and that same count on the exhale. When you start to feel your lungs in with the breath on the inhale, see if you can start to feel the lungs from the bottom all the way to the top of your lungs, the area where your collarbone is. And then when you breathe out, see if you can start emptying your lungs out from the top, then the middle, and then the bottom. So filling up these lungs from the bottom all the way to the top. And think about expanding your lungs in every direction, front, back, sides. And on the exhale, empty out, soften. Stay with that rhythm, stay with your breath. And tune into your lungs and the movement of the lungs as you inhale, filling them up, and as you exhale, empty them out. While you're doing that, observe your breath. Is it free? Is it available? Is there any friction? Is there tension and effort in your breath? Can you relax a little bit more as you breathe? Any unnecessary tension anywhere in the body that you can let go? Beautiful. And slowly you're going to start to extend the exhales. So you can keep the inhales the same. And the exhale breath is the breath of letting go. So now we're going to start to focus only on the exhale. So the inhales can be natural, comfortable, perhaps slightly even short. And the main focus here are long exhales. See if with every exhale you can connect with this energy of letting go of stale air in the body, letting go of carbon dioxide in the body, letting go of false beliefs, limiting beliefs, experiences, people, ideas, anything that needs letting go. Have very clear the intention for your practice. Perhaps you connected more to the concept of letting go, or perhaps this is a perfect opportunity to honor the grief of some part of yourself that you had to let go of in the past. Stay with your long exhales. Embodying the concept of letting go. Not just as a concept in your mind, but as a deep embodied understanding of how it feels inside your body to truly let go. And then to honor this lost, allowing yourself to grieve, to be sad. Gently inviting the hands to come together in front of the heart center. Bowing the head down to your heart, to your true self. And gently bringing the head back to center, releasing the arms down by your sides, and gently blinking your eyes open. Beautiful. We're going to start stimulating lung 1 and 2. The lung meridian starts, they happen on both sides. Yeah, I'm going to show just one, but they're on both sides. So if you bring your fingers to your collarbone, let's do both sides actually. If you bring your fingers to your collarbone and you slide them all the way to the end, and then you bring them down where you have this big depression here, just under your collarbone, that's lung 2. And just under that you have lung 1. Okay, so we're going to be stimulating this part here. You can bring your fingers and you can literally massage these points here. And they're very good to assist with the breathing, okay? Any congestion in the nose, also cough, and just breathing in general can be assisted by massaging these points. So you can start using your fingers. And now, I should have said this before, but I forgot. Do you have a ball? Any sort of ball? If you do, we're going to use this ball on these points now for our next pose, for our first pose. Okay? If you don't have a ball, you can totally do this pose without the ball. Right? But if you do, go ahead and go grab it and come back. And I'll show you what's going to happen. So we're going to start with our yin practice, and then we're going to transition to the yang practice of the day. So if you do have a ball, I want you to come to laying on your belly, and you're going to bring your ball to that same area we were just massaging, just here under your collarbone, out to the side. You can bring that ball right there, and then you can find a nice positioning for your arm. And if you do have this ball, I want you to stay here for a little bit, okay? If you don't have this ball, then you can just go straight into your pose. You're gonna bring the right arm out with the palm facing down. I'll show it with the left so that you can see exactly what's happening. So you bring the arm out to the side, shoulder height. You use your opposite hand to help you roll over this shoulder. And now the target area here is the front part of your shoulder, where we have the lung meridian flowing, all right? So if you're very flexible and mobile in your shoulder joint, you might want to use this top leg here back to increase sensation. And if you have a big range of motion in your shoulder, you might even lift the other leg up with the knee up like this. The top arm, you can decide if it's best to just stay here, giving yourself a little bit of support, or if you rather bring it slightly behind you on top, or even all the way back in contact with the other arm. And we'll stay there for a couple minutes. So take the time you need to set yourself up. If you have the ball, enjoy a little acupressure point in lung 1 and 2 for a few breaths, and then you roll over that arm. You can do it with the ball, and if that doesn't feel good, you can also remove the ball. Nice, Claudia. Marta, I cannot see you again. Beautiful, Claudia. So just, you can close your eyes. Tune into the sensations. The Yin practice is the practice for us to observe what's going on inside. So it's not about how the pose looks. It's not about achieving anything. It's simply about being with yourself, being present with yourself. And today, with our theme of letting go and grief, and working with the breath. If you want to keep applying those long exhales while you're in the pose to assist in this letting go process, please feel free to do that. Lovely. Last few moments here. Is there anything you can soften a little bit more in your pose? Is there anything you can let go of right here, right now? Is there any little part of yourself that you had to let go in the past and you didn't allow yourself to grieve this loss? Any unprocessed grief in your lungs, in your body? Just breathe into it. You'll take your final 3 breaths now with very long exhalations. I'm not going to count them, you're going to count them yourself. And once you finish with the 3 breaths, you roll back to center. Make this transition as slow as possible. Put your arm in any direction and position that's comfortable. Relax your body completely and observe any differences between the right side and the left side of your arms, of your chest, your shoulders, shoulder blades, upper back. Perhaps you feel some heat, weight. Tune in. If you feel your mind wandering, which it will, because that's what the mind does, just invite it gently to come back to your breath, to come back to the body, and to the sensations happening inside the body right here, right now, anchoring the mind back into the body with kindness and gentleness. Beautiful. We start to prepare the other side. So if you do have that tennis ball, prepare that just under your collarbone, out to the side, just before your shoulder. And then allow the weight of your body to rest over this ball.
find where it's better for your arm to be. So you can play with it around a little bit and see whether you find a juicy, yummy sensation in your lungs 1 and 2 points, 2 acupressure points on the lung meridian. If you don't have this ball today, you're just rolling over directly into the pose, open wings pose. Remember that energy flows where attention goes. So keep your attention in the target area. Keep your attention inside so that energy can flow to the parts of the body where it's needed. Bringing balance, bringing healing to body, mind, and spirit. Beautiful. If you're ready, rolled over, you're great. If you're still laying on your tummy, you can keep the ball or remove the ball and roll yourself over that shit. Might be helpful to put a little cushion or something underneath your head if it's too much for your neck to handle, or if you want a little bit more comfort in your pose. And then there's nothing left to do. Simply be with yourself. Be present with the pose. Be present with your intention. If the breath helps you stay present, please feel free to focus on the sound of your breath. Mainly focusing on long exhales if that's comfortable for you. As we stay in the pose, sometimes the body creates some resistance. So just give yourself a nice inhale on the exhale. See if you can soften and release a little bit more. Beautiful, ladies. Stay there. Don't move. Just focus on your breath now. And take those nice, conscious, deep breaths with long exhales. Count 3 of them before you roll out of your pose. Nice and slow. Once you're ready to start to roll out of your pose, you stay laying on your belly. Find a good positioning for your arms. Every time we take a yin pose, we take then a rebound pose, any comfortable pose that we can go to observe the results of the previous pose. So a rebound we're doing here, laying on our bellies. Observing any sensation, physical sensations in the body. We can start cultivating this awareness through the most gross, I never know how to say this word, gross or gross sensations of the body, the physical body, right? Heat, tingling, difference in weight, in length, size. And as we advance in our awareness, we start to observe the more subtle sensations and results of the practice, such as emotions, feelings, memories. And perhaps even we can connect to the flow of energy, of chi, prana, running through the energy channels, the meridians or the nadis. Slowly start to bring your hands by the sides of your chest to help you push yourself up and back down into a child's pose position with the arms by the sides, the shoulders completely relaxed, drop down, melting down towards the ground. Allow your shoulders to melt completely down, separating your shoulder blades. Releasing to the ground, letting go. With the chin to the chest, slowly start to roll yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae, nice and slow. Shoulders and head come up flat. And you can, I'm just going to turn to you, you can just stay exactly as you are. You can stay here sitting on your heels if that's comfortable, or you can come to a cross-legged position, okay? Sliding the hips out to the side and bringing the legs in front of you. So either way is fine. You can even keep your eyes closed. Just tune in to the breath once again. We're going to start to introduce gentle movements as we transition from yin to yang. So using your inhale, I want you to lift the shoulders to the front, all the way up to the ears. And as you exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. The inhale, bring the shoulders forwards and up. And the exhale, bring the shoulders back down. 3 more times. Connect with your breath. Find a rhythm that works for you. Don't need to follow my breath. Please follow yours. Once you finish 3 rounds, you're going to do it the opposite direction. The inhale brings it back and up, and the exhale brings it forward and down. 3 to 5 rounds in your time. Beautiful. We're going to start to invite the arms into the body. So on your next inhale, you're going to inhale, lift your arm all the way up, interlace your fingers, open your chest, look slightly up. And on the exhale, you release, interlace the fingers behind you. Bring the palms of your hands together if you can. On the inhale, look up, open your chest, shoulder blades come together. On the exhale, bow forward, head down towards the ground, hands coming up behind you. Breathe in here for a few moments. You can wiggle your shoulders, your arms side to side if that's comfortable for you. Keep the awareness on what's happening in the front of the shoulders and the back of the shoulders where lungs and large intestines are going through. 1 more breath here. And on the inhale, you come up. Exhale, keep your hands together and just soften. We go for another round. Separate your hands. On the inhale, lift it up. Interlace your fingers, open your chest, look up. Exhale, release the hands, clasp the hands behind you. Inhale to open the chest, straighten your arms, look up. And as you exhale, bow forwards and down, head down. Few breaths here. And out we go on the inhale, coming up.
Exhale, softening. Beautiful. From wherever position you are, sitting on your heels or cross-legged, I want you to come forward, bring your hands on the ground, tuck your toes behind you, and as you exhale, you push into a downward facing dog. Let's take a moment to just arrive in this downward facing dog. You can pedal your heels, and also you can play with your shoulders, so dipping one shoulder down at a time. Feeling the sensations coming from the shoulders down to the hands and the fingers pressing firmly into your mat. Beautiful. You're going to bring a slight bend to your knees, look in between your hands, and on the inhale, step both feet forward, open your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Interlace your fingers behind you, keep your palms together if you can, and start to work those hands to the floor behind your head. Allow the arms to be very heavy and feel how it feels in the shoulders. Do you feel tension? Do you feel compression? Do you feel a stretch in the front part of your shoulder? In the back, what's happening in there? On the inhale, bring your hands down on the floor, open your chest halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold all the way down, Uttanasana, release the head. Inhale, bring it up, swing those arms up, palms touch above your head. And on the exhale, palms come together in front of the heart center. Beautiful. I'm going to turn to you so you can see what we're going to do next. So the right leg is going to come over the left. And the left arm is going to come in front. The right arm is going to go under it. You're going to wrap around and see if you can hold on to your thumb or bring the palms together. This leg that crossed over once or twice, okay? And then from here, I want you to inhale, lift those elbows up and separate your shoulder blades behind you. Nice. Stay. Lift those elbows up, separate your shoulder blades behind you. This is the large intestine meridian running behind your shoulders. Breathe in there. Press those palms of the hands together. Squeeze the elbows together. Squeeze the elbows together. Lift them up. Separate your shoulder blades more. And on the exhale, release that. Beautiful. Nice job. Other side. Left leg goes over once or twice. Right arm in front of you. Left arm now goes under this right one. And see if you can grab your thumb or your palm. Everything is ready and organized. You inhale, lift your elbows as you squeeze them in towards each other and you separate your shoulder blades behind you. Also hug the knees in towards each other and the thighs for stability and grounding. And continue the work of lifting those elbows, separating the shoulder blades, and squeezing elbows in towards each other. One more breath. And exhale, release. Very good. You can take a step back and turn to the side of your mat. Hands on your hips. Let's make sure the alignment is okay so that your feet are not pointing out. You want your feet pointing straight forward or even slightly in so that your feet are parallel from the outside. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale to open the chest and exhale to fold forward. Bring your palms, interlace your fingers behind your back, palms touch. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold in like this and allow the hands to be heavy down towards the ground. Shifting the weight slightly forward towards the mound of your big toes to help you get a sensation also in the back of your legs. Continue to bring those palms together if possible. And breathe into the sensations of the arms and the shoulders, our target area of the day. So you can bend your knees and give a little bit of a rest to your hamstrings and focus more on the upper body and the area that we're targeting today, Lungs and Large Intestine meridians.
On the inhale, you're going to come all the way up to standing. On the exhale, you're going to release your hands back to your hips. I want you to turn to the front of your mat. So you're going to turn the right foot to the front of your mat. You're going to windmill your hands down. Bring your hands in chaturanga. Step your feet back and lower yourself down to the ground. And on the inhale, open your heart and your chest into cobra. And we're going to stay here, cobra. So your belly's down, shoulders are rolling back. Beautiful. From here, let's lift up to upward facing dog. Use the top of the feet on the ground and lift yourself up. Roll those shoulders back and down. Look slightly up. Hips forwards and down. Legs active. Top of the feet on the ground. Beautiful. Stay here. Open the chest. Breathe into your collarbones. Breathe into those points. Lung 1 and lung 2 that we were working with the ball and the massage. Breathe in there. One more. Beautiful. Exhale. Take it to downward facing dog. Once again, step your right foot forward and you're going to turn again to the side of your mat. Now we're going to keep the right hand on the ground in between our feet and the left elbow is going to lift up. Keep your hips square to the center. Lift just the left elbow up. Now bring the left hand up to the sky. Activate the tip of your fingers. Spread your finger wides. Breathe from the shoulder all the way to the tip of your fingers. Breathe in that area. If this is okay, you want to bring this arm all the way back and wrap around your upper thigh. Lovely. Opening that shoulder even more up towards the sky. But don't let the hips come with. Allow the hips to remain square to the ground. And then the shoulder is opening up to the ceiling. Nice. If you have this hand down, inhale, bring your hand all the way up. And exhale, bringing the hand down, preparing for the switch. Inhale, bring the right elbow up. And then extend the right hand up towards the sky. Open those fingers wide. Activate all the fingers. Breathe from the shoulder, front of your shoulder, all the way to the tip of your fingers. Especially index and thumb, which is where lung and large intestine meridians start and finish. Beautiful. One more breath here. Exhale, bring the hands down to the ground. Beautiful. Once again, we interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold in Prasarita Padottanasana C. Second try. Breathe into those shoulders. You can make little gentle movements side to side with your hands to free a little bit more space around the shoulder joints. 2 more breaths. Very nice. Exhale, release your hands. Turn to the front of your mat with your right foot. Bring your hands down. Step the right foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to cobra. Roll those shoulders back and down. Breathe into your collarbone. Breathe into the top of your lungs. Activate the top of the feet down and the hands down. And on the inhale, lift yourself up to upward facing dog. Continue to roll those shoulders back and down. Bring those shoulders blades together behind you. And on the exhale, tuck your toes and push back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Breathe here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. On the inhale, you're going to step your right foot forward in between your hands. You're going to keep your left hand down and you're going to open your right elbow up to the sky and then the right hand up to the sky. Finding yourself in a twist. I'm going to just switch so I'm in a better position for you to see me if you need. Otherwise, just continue to listen and to just be in your space, be with yourself. It's lovely. On the exhale, bring that hand back. Step your foot back, stay into plank. Stay in high plank. 5, 4, 3. Hands on the ground. Press down to the tip of your fingers. 2, 1. Push back into downward facing dog. We twist to the other side. So now the left foot comes forward. Right hand stays down. Inhale, left elbow twists open to the ceiling. Exhale, reach the left hand up to the sky. Find yourself in a twist. Activate the fingers. Breathe into your chest. Feel up your lungs on the inhale. Expand. Exhale. Just release the breath and soften the body a little bit, but stay in the pose. You have 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale here. Last one. Beautiful. Bring the left hand down. Step the left foot back and stay into a high plank. When you're in high plank, I want you to think about separating your shoulder blades as much as you can, rounding your upper back. Root yourself down, pressing firmly through all fingers on the floor. We stay for 3 more. 2. And 1. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Roll those shoulders back and down. Take an extra breath here. And exhale, push yourself back into downward facing dog. Stay with your breath. Bring a gentle bend in your knees, looking between your hands. Inhale, step or jump through, and sit yourself down. Very nice. So I'm going to need you to grab, if you have blocks or cushions or anything. If you don't, you can do an active version of a fish pose. So I'm going to show you. The fish pose, perhaps you know it, Claudia, already. It looks a little bit like this. There's many different variations, right? But the pose where we open the chest here and bring the top of the feet on the top of the head on the ground. So you can do this one actively like this, or even better is you prop yourself up and then you can just relax here with an open chest and open arms, right? So see if you can grab something. Yes. Nice, Claudia. That's it. Take your time, prop up. You want it right around your shoulder blades, okay? So it's quite high up that you want to put your prop. So whatever cushions you could come up with, or blocks. Whoops. I'm gonna grab one more. And then I want you to take a moment to see where should the arms be. So what's the sensation in the shoulders and in the arms if you bring your hands all the way up? If you bring them to the sides, if the elbows are bent or straight. So play around with it a little bit and see where is that sweet spot that you have a nice stretch, a good sensation in the front of your shoulders, down through your arms and into your fingers. We're gonna be here for 2 minutes and I want you to, as best as you can, keep the attention on your arms, your fingers, and your shoulders, the front of your chest. So your mind is going to go somewhere, and it will, because that's what the mind likes to do. You'll notice it, and you bring it back gently. Sensations on the chest, shoulder, arms, hands, and fingers. The sensation might be quite subtle, so you do need to heighten your awareness even more. This is where flexibility is actually a bit tricky. When you're more flexible, you tend to drift away more because it's easier, right? The sensations are not so intense. For people that are tighter, less flexible, the sensations are quite
strong, and they actually help and assist in staying present. So if you are very flexible, it might be a little more challenging to stay fully present with what is. It might be different for you, so just observe your experience. Go back to your mind and notice the quality of your thoughts, and come back to this moment, anchoring your thoughts on the sensations of your chest, shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. We're going to start our last 3 breaths. So I want you to inhale into the chest, top of the lungs. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine the air going down the shoulders, the arms, the tip of the fingers. Once again, inhale to your chest, fill up your lungs, expand the collarbone. Exhale, energy goes out down the arms, hands, and fingers. Inhale, bring energy in, expand the lungs, open the rib cage, collarbone, expand. Exhale, let go, soften, energy going out, down the arms to the fingers. One more, your own rhythm. Gently making a smooth transition to remove the props from underneath you. To allow your body to come down to the ground in a Shavasana shaped position. And notice how it feels to put the head, to put your upper back onto your mat. Tune into the sensations in the lungs. And in the shoulders and down the arms. And just let go over and over again. Come back to your intention. Honoring the grief that comes naturally after a loss of a part of yourself, a loss of an idea, of a concept, of an opinion. Whatever it is, honor it and let it go. You're going to invite the right knee in towards the chest. You're going to bring both hands to the front of your knees, hugging the knee in towards your chest. Opening now the right arm up to the side, shoulder height, palm of the hand facing up. You bring just the left hand on the knee and you bring that right knee across over to the left side. It's okay if your right shoulder comes up. It's okay as long as you still feel a sensation. So you want to feel the sensation from the hand all the way up the arm, armpit, shoulder joint, perhaps even to your chest. Okay, so do the necessary adjustments. Find where it's nice for that knee to come. You need to negotiate between your knee and your shoulder to accommodate them best. But find that sensation up in the shoulder, armpit, arms, and hands. Once you find that spot, breathe.
And soften on the exhale. Long exhales, ideally to assist in this letting go. Take your last breath here. Another inhale, bring the legs back to center, hugging the knees towards the chest, square out your shoulders and your hips. And now we release the right leg down towards the ground in front of us with the legs straight. We're going to hug the knee in towards the chest, only the left knee. We're going to drop the left arm out to the side, shoulder height, palm of the hand facing up. We use the right hand on the left knee to bring that knee across and over to get ourselves in a twist. Tuning into the sensation in the front of the shoulder, the back of the shoulder, and down the arms and armpits. You'll decide the positioning of your knee and the intensity of your twist. Having in mind that the target area is still the same. Top of your chest, down through the front and the back of the shoulders, down the arms, into the fingers. So adjust yourself accordingly. It's like they say, to heal it, you gotta feel it. So allow yourself to feel any physical, mental, emotional, any kind of sensations that come up throughout your practice. Take those long exhales here. How much can you let go? And we'll bring this left arm over so that we come to our side and we're kind of in a fetal position. Okay, I'm going to just turn over to the side, but you stay intuitively into the side that you were in. You can close your eyes. Just be here with yourself for a couple moments with your breath. And using one hand down on the ground, you're going to start to lift yourself up. You can keep your eyes closed if that's best, or open them slightly to come up to a comfortable seated position. You can grab the cushion or a block to put underneath your sit bones. Land with a tall spine, crown of the head projecting up towards the ceiling as the tailbone roots down into the earth. Sitting for a few moments with your eyes closed, observing. I want you to do a mudra with your hands. So we're going to combine index and thumb fingers like this. The tip of your fingers. This is the end of the lung meridian is in the thumb, and the beginning of the large intestine meridian is in the index finger. So we're bringing these points together in this mudra. Any positioning that's comfortable for you. They can be down or they can be facing up. Combine these 2 points. Breathe from the bottom to the top of your lungs, filling them up. And as you exhale, empty out the lungs from the top down to the bottom. Stay with that breath, filling up the lungs from the bottom to the top, expanding through the collarbone. And on the exhale, emptying out from the top all the way down to the bottom of your lungs. Navel comes in towards the spine.
And as you stay here with your breath and your mudra, take a moment to feel, how does it feel inside your body to let go? How does it feel? How does grief feel inside your body? Were you able to honor that grief and let go of that part of yourself? Or that part of that relationship, or just an idea, concept, an opinion? How is your relationship with letting go and grief for what you've lost? Gently releasing that mudra and bringing the palms of the hands together in front of the heart center. Bowing the head down towards the heart, towards our lungs. Taking a moment to honor those parts of ourself that we have lost along the way to become who we were truly meant to be in the first place. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today in this metal element Yin and Yang